Today we're unpacking and reviewing the Logar Wax Melter Clarifier. Hello, I'm Angharad and welcome to Gwenyn Gruffydd. Here we talk everything from beekeeping, farming, countryside living, and we do reviews as well. And today we're reviewing the Logar Wax Melter Clarifier, an early Christmas present for myself. We decided to buy this wax melter clarifier to solve a problem. We're selling and processing more and more beeswax. As some of you may know, we sell our own candles, we sell filtered beeswax to other candle makers, and we do beeswax wraps as well. And it was getting to the point that the system I had in place was not feasible. It was taking way too much time to filter the wax, so we needed a solution, and I'm hoping that this will resolve the problem I had of processing a large volume of beeswax, filtering it and cleaning it down for making candles. So this machine can take up to 75 kilos of beeswax at a time, which is, you know, it's a decent amount of beeswax. We're not a huge manufacturer here. We're a small honey farm, and I'm sure this will be sufficient for my needs. So the tank came delivered, ready assembled on a pallet. The only thing that we needed to do was put it onto the stand. That was a bit tricky because there's 3 lips on the stand, and we did have to tease one of the lips out a little to get to sit on it. But yeah, it's on the stand, ready to go. The only thing that we had to do then was fill the capacity, sort of the wall inside, with thermo oil, and that was filled in through this outlet at the top. It was a bit tricky to fill it up with thermo oil because it kept spitting and throwing air out basically, but Griff sort of came up with a solution with a Coke bottle, a small 500ml Coke bottle, and then a small tube pipe, and inserted that into the Coke bottle, and air could escape then whilst we were filling it up with the thermo oil, and after we did that it filled up with ease. It's taken about 1.5 drums of thermo oil. We bought 2 drums with the tank. Each drum is 20 litres, so it did take about 1.5 drums. And yeah, it's ready to go. I should mention also that we did buy this from Modern Beekeeping, and excellent service as always with Paul there at Modern Beekeeping. And I'm really looking forward now to getting this wax melted down and clarified, and yeah, see how it works. So when we were trying to decide which tank to go for, there's a couple of tanks on the market, similar capacity, similar sort of price range, but the reason we went for the Logar is because it's an insulated tank, which hopefully will mean that it'll use up less energy to warm it up with the electric. Now we do have solar panels here on the farm, and I intend to use this only during the day when we produce electric to sort of keep the costs down, but the fact that it is insulated will hopefully mean it's a bit more efficient to run. So there's nothing left to do now but to fill it up with wax. You'll see the stack of wax I've got here. Fill it up with wax and yeah, leave it to melt it down. So this tank now is going to be stage 2 of our wax filtering. Stage 1 is when we melt the comb down using one of 2 steam melters we've got here on the farm. We've got the small one Lyson here next to me, and we've got another bigger one in the other building. But when it's been melted down, stage 1, we melt them down into blocks that look like this, and we also purchase them in rough filtered, and they look like this, but they're still not clean enough for candle making and for making beeswax straps, which is why I needed a big tank to do the stage 2. The way I was doing it previously was just way too time consuming, and hopefully this will resolve it. So you'll notice that the tank has 2 taps. The idea behind this is once the wax has melted down and is all liquid, the sediment and dirt will sink to the bottom, and some might even float to the top, but most of it will sink to the bottom. And the idea is then that to take out the clean wax, I'll use the middle tap, and I'll drain the wax out until I reach the dirty wax, and then I'll stop. And then to drain the tank out then with the dirty wax at the end, I'll be using this tap. So to recap, clean wax, dirty wax. So it's been roughly 2 hours. We're losing the light now. It's gone dark outside, but we've turned on the light in the shed, so hopefully you can see okay. So yeah, 2 hours or so have passed. It's nice and melted down. So that's all I need to do now, is to drain it from the clean tap into containers. So it's the next day. Excuse, I'm wrapped up because it's snowing outside and it's blooming freezing in the shed, but I've come back in now to check how the moulds, the wax have turned out in the moulds. This is the first time we've used it, so this is the result, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's lovely and clean. I can see in some of the moulds tiny little speckles, but this one I've got in my hand now, I can't actually see any. But I have seen a few tiny speckles in one of them. But maybe it's just trial and error. Obviously it's a new machine for us, so it's going to take a bit of time for us to get to know one another and how to use it properly. Maybe next time, once the wax has melted down completely, I might leave it for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, to ensure that all the sediment has settled to the bottom and anything that needs floating up to the top has floated up, to make sure that everything that does come out from the tap here is absolutely clean. But yeah, the results are, I'm really pleased, and moving forward now, this is going to make my life so much easier. So what I'll be doing moving forward, I won't be doing them in moulds this small. I just did them in small moulds for the purpose of this video, and because it's our first time to really inspect how the wax has turned out, and I'm happy. Ready now to be using the next stage to make candles, and I'll make a video very soon on our Lyson wax melting tank, which I use primarily for the candle making. But yeah, first impressions of this machine, I'm delighted. It's going to make my life so much easier. And yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below, or maybe you've got your own Clarifier melting tank, wax melting tank. Let us know how you get along with it, and any tips that you might have. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to watch more of the same kind of content, then please hit that subscribe button, and we try to upload new videos every week, and see you again soon.